From the family, a proclamation to the world. We call upon responsible citizens and officers of government everywhere to promote those measures designed to maintain and strengthen the family as the fundamental unit of society. Okay, this is from the family, a proclamation to the world. Welcome to Whatsoever More or Less. My name is Jason, and I've got more constitutional thoughts for you today, but I'm going to get into the morality and laws of nature side of things a bit here. So, first off, let's go ahead and look at the concept of who does a child, uh, what's in the best interest of a child, to be owned by the government or to be owned by their parents, to go along with the government or to go along with the parents. A newborn child cannot choose for themselves. They cannot choose to subject themselves. They cannot choose to be subjects. They cannot choose to be citizens. The child may seem to be better off if it's raised in a richer situation, but in truth, there's always all sorts of lost benefits. Um, the real benefit to a child, the most important thing as I study the family of proclamation to a world, is that there's two parents, that the child goes with their parents, right? Um, I'd say poverty is actually a minimal concern. Thomas Sowell, the great economist, uh, says that poverty is the natural state of man. Um, that it's unnatural for man to be anything uh, but poor. Okay, we're born into this life not rich. Okay, so let's analyze this concept of birthright citizenship. The concept of birthright citizenship, the biggest problem I see with it is if two parents are in a deportable status. In other words, they're in the host country without permission at being in the host country, and they have a baby here. Now they claim that baby. The host country claims that baby as their own, as a citizen of, say, for example, the United States. But then they catch the parents for being here illegally, and that sovereign nation has the right to deport those two parents. Um, does that sovereign nation have a right to claim that child, keep the child here, and deport the parents? Absolutely not. This is one of the most obvious foreseeable problems with the modern interpretation of the 14th Amendment, which we'll get into reading the text of it here in a second, and also into challenging even the morality of the whole concept behind the 14th Amendment. But let's first off look at some examples from history that have led to serious conflicts. The War of 1812, British, as far as they were concerned, Americans who had chosen to no longer be British, if the British caught them, they kept him and made him. They impressed him, as they call it. They made him serve in the military. Similar instances have happened apparently with Germany and Prussia in history. And these always lead to international incidents, or in other words, the host country or the country who runs into someone they claim to be their citizens just because that person was born there, um, but no longer wants to be part of that, has no right to claim them. Uh, there's apparently a historical attempt here. Uh, Let me see if I can bring this up. The Hague Nationality Convention. This is something that didn't pass, but the preamble of this convention explicitly admits that because different countries use different rules, it creates dual nationalities and statelessness, which causes conflicts between nations. Basically, they attempted to say nobody should be counted as a dual citizen. I think this is one of the most obvious things in the world. Um, when someone is here in the United States, for example, from another country, we become the host country. We have a certain way to treat them that is appropriate if we want to avoid international incidences. Um, if we treat them in such a way that we kick them out for being here illegally, but then keep their child as though it's our own, what are we thinking? Who makes us think we have the right to do that? We do have the right to kick them out. We don't have the right to keep their child. The child is incapable of deciding for itself. The child is entitled to be raised in a family. This is not complicated. Um, Moving on here, let's go ahead and I have some other thoughts I brought up. Threshold for offense. Yes. Okay. So basically, first off, too, let's look at this term subject to. Okay. So looking at the concept of subject to, um, it basically means to bring under the power or dominion of, right? To put within the power. How can a child be told that it's subject to obeying the laws of the United States when it's first born? This is impossible. Um, the child cannot choose its citizenship. It is impossible for it to be subjected to citizenship. Um, Further, let's see here. I had some. So basically, there's an international, what do we call it? International minimum standard of treatment of people from other countries. Um, uh, when people from other countries are here, again, you just simply cannot tell them that their child has to be a citizen and stay here with us while you're simultaneously exercising your sovereignty and removing someone who's here illegally. Another point I would make is that for us to continue to have this birthright citizenship practice, the estimates are 10,000 at least plus people who have attempted to cross the desert, what have you, from Mexico through to here, who have lost their lives because they were trying to get here. And a lot of times, what they hope for is a chance to become an American citizen by having babies here. We give them this false hope, and that hey, just come here illegally. It's so worth it. You're going to be rich. You're going to raise your kids rich. Um, if you can cross that desert, you know, um, that's called culpable negligence on our part for leaving that temptation out. It's unintentional entrapment, perhaps. Might be another way to say it. Um, it's an incentive and a foreseeable harm that we ourselves are guilty of by continuing to practice this concept of birthright citizenship. The family is the fundamental unit of society. Before the child ever belongs to any government at all, the child belongs to their family. That is all there is to it. I don't care if the Constitution says it, it's immoral for the Constitution to say it otherwise. It is not the Constitution's business to address these issues of who the child belongs to when they're born. That will never be the Constitution's business. So now, to go ahead and finish this off, I am going to read the actual text of the 14th Amendment and have you think about it a different way. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject. So this is key. All persons born or naturalized. That's two different classes of people. So when naturalized here or born here, right, in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Again, you cannot subject a child to be obedient to the law. A child cannot subject themselves when they're freshly born. So this is impossible with the actual meaning of the word subject, right? And then the other point is, and you cannot be fully subject to it anyhow if any other country has claim on you, right? We're coming back to this international minimum standard of treatment. In other words, we kick someone out from Mexico, both parents who are here illegally, right? But we keep their child. Are we trying to create international incidences? Are we trying to create a problem here? They cannot be fully subject to the United States. They are first subject to their parents, and they have to go with their parents until they reach a reasonable age to be classifiable as citizens in the first place, separate from their own parents' citizenship. Okay, um, but again, I think this is the key wording of the 14th Amendment that really matters. Read um, again and again how often the word shall appears in the Constitution. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit Control F here. Control F, and I'm going to type shall. 306. Okay, let's go with shall be. 108 times. This is the common language of the Constitution. As a matter of fact, let's type in the word "are." I don't think it appears that much. 11 times in the entire Constitution with all the amendments. Okay, and one of those times is right here in the 14th Amendment. Okay, so let's look at this word "are" again. All persons born. By the way, born is the past participle of to bear. Okay, it's a past tense status. Okay, not all persons that shall be. Here, let's go ahead and type in "shall be." Let's just see how often that appears. Shall be 108 times, right? This is it's seriously ridiculous. All persons born. That's a past participle. In the United States or naturalized and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. That's a present tense declaration. Okay, and the 14th Amendment, when you look at the whole thing, it's a massive punishment amendment or a remedy amendment dealing with the aftermath of the illegal war that was carried out. Even the president prior to, what's his name, Polk, I think is the one, who was saying we have to amend the Constitution to make secession prohibited. He was convinced that secession was illegal, but it wasn't specific enough, so it needed to be amended. Didn't happen, but he admitted it. It's right. It's inconsistent with the 10th Amendment to just carry out the Civil War aggressively like that. Even if your cause is just, do it the right way. Otherwise, you put a stain on the justness of your cause. The 14th Amendment, it really remedied a lot of misinterpretations in Section 1 only. All the rest of it, it's all remedies regarding the Civil War. It remedied a lot of misinterpretations of Article 4 of the Constitution. And so I think it's interesting. The Fifth Amendment, too, it remedied that. You can see that in life, liberty, and property, etc. Privileges and immunities. But again, as just as you might think the 14th Amendment is, it's stained forever by the way it was ratified. That's all there is to it. And Jackson v. McCormick. Powell v. McCormick. Oh boy. I'm going to look this up real quick here while you guys are on. While I'm on this video here, Powell v. McCormick. I think I'm saying the right case here. Even Powell v. McCormick admitted an individual who meets the constitutional requirements for being a House of Representatives may not be denied a seat for here. What's the rest of it say? Old computer kind of us rich music teachers, right? May not be denied a seat thereupon being properly elected. Okay. But that's exactly what happened in order to get the 14th Amendment ratified. They were denied their seat, even though they were properly elected. So the Supreme Court in 1969 maybe didn't mean to, but they admitted that the 13th through 15th Amendments are illegitimate in their manner of ratification. It's a massive violation of the Constitution. But I think the bigger violation is, again, let's read what it says here. We call upon responsible citizens and officers of government everywhere to promote these measures designed to maintain and strengthen the family as the fundamental unit of society. Also, let's look up the previous paragraph. Further, we warn that the disintegration of the family will bring upon individuals, communities, and nations the calamities foretold by ancient and modern prophets. I don't think we should be playing around with family definition and family loyalty. We should not be trying to take an infant from their family for entering this country illegally. We should also not be granting citizenship to someone for entering this country illegally and then having a baby here. So the laws of nature and of nature's God answer our question for us. It's just, are we willing to let common sense reign? And are we, again, willing to look at the very unique text of the 14th Amendment? It's not shall be, which appears 300 plus times in the Constitution. It's are. Okay, that's it. It's not meant to be a future thing. Okay, it's meant to be right now. There's a bunch of people in this country that were born here that owe no allegiance to any other country. No other country whatsoever has claim upon them. There's no international incidences that we're creating by doing this or anything like that at all. We're declaring them citizens right here on the spot. Anything else, we are disregarding other nations. We are disregarding the priority of the family as the fundamental unit of society. So there's my little rant. I'm sorry, I came up with this after listening to Barbara versus Trump commentary from some constitutional scholars. You get caught up in originalism. I think you're at some point you're going to make yourself dumber. Okay, just let you know. Let's be honest. Read the text, pay attention, think about it deeply. Maybe look at originalism just a little bit to give you an idea of what you're hunting for. But honestly, if you're hunting, you're trying to squeeze meaning out of things that aren't there. The word "are." Now, of course, you have to be fluent at reading the Constitution to recognize that, and I recognize that in a heartbeat because I'm constantly reading "shall be, shall be, shall be, shall be," and then suddenly I find the words "are." I'm like, that stands out like a sore thumb to me. If you haven't developed that ability to see that stand out as a sore thumb, I recommend you do. Just start reading the Constitution regularly. Start recognizing it. So that's it. Thanks for listening, you guys. See ya.